I never like when people stop a fight and they put their, they put them in the hold, because this just leaves them open to getting attacked by the other person. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are here with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato. We come back as we normally do with notes and a comment. Again, no change to the board, so no need to show the board. Click the link down below if you want to see the board. So then, on to notes. You'd expect that we'd see some real shit with them saying how we're going to maximum warp. We've seen a full-on warp like twice in the show, right? This is the first time they've emphasized something beyond a normal warp, though, and we just skip over it. We do, and it's done. Good thing it's happened right at the end of the episode, though. Really lays down what to expect. Sorry, I said at the end. I meant at the start. At the start of the episode, really lays down what to expect. Given the episode's title, it promises one thing and delivers another. Or, you could hardly say delivered anything. Probably for the best, considering all we'd likely get was yet another shot of Yuki being stripped of their clothes. I believe I had mentioned that the Yamato was so much faster than Star Trek. I wasn't really comparing anything, it's just that when they said the Yamato had jumped 2,000 light years, I couldn't help but think about the 75,000 light year journey that the Voyager had to make to get home. And how they were saying it would take them 75 years to get home traveling at maximum warp. Meaning that Voyager can travel 1,000 light years in 1 year. Yamato can do 2,000 in 10 seconds. And while they say it can't keep repeating that, assumedly it could do less, with less stress to the system, with no problem. So say half of that, without the problem, would still be what it takes Voyager to travel in a year, and still in 10 seconds. How many anchors does Ryu's outfit need? 1 on the hat, 2 on the collar of the coat, 2 on the cuffs of the coat, 1 on each glove? That's what, 2, 4, 6, 7? 7 already? I'm sure there are probably more, but we just can't see. Anyway, actual note. Ryu had a good plan, well organized and executed. Ironically, the only flaw being that he completely went around HQ. I'm not saying that he should have waited for HQ's response, but he should have shot them a message informing them of what he was doing and why. Better to keep HQ in the loop than not, especially when they start trying to waste time debating whether to take action or not. The second in command of the Defense HQ is a nitwit. He's gotten 2 scenes out of the season, and he's been an impediment both times. Both times his objections were laughable. Gotta stop the saviors of mankind from doing something to try and help. Gotta stop the organizations of the defense fleet to try and stop the oncoming invasion. The worst bit is that he went outside the chain of command to try and detain the Yamato last time, and now wants Ryu taken out of commission for going outside the chain of command? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I hope they aren't setting up Kodai and Yuki for an ending, just like the movie. We are approaching the end of the season, so it's time for some resolutions to start happening. Obviously, the first thing to come up is going to be seeing if Dessler's story is going to end the same way, but we haven't foreshadowed that yet. The "you two should get married" is a giant red flag to not coming back. Despite it not being much more than just a prison break scene, Dessler's escape is one of the highlights of the season. Interwoven character plots that, even though they were extremely basic, came together in one scene where everything just made sense. The ships chasing to keep an eye on him, the Gambless fleet not knowing it was Dessler and being prepared to defend themselves, all great points. The only downturn being that Sabera and Genitz didn't get executed. But since I have to assume that they'll be dead by the end of the season anyways, que sera sera. And once again with the comments, we have Kellen Winslow. First off, I just have to say sorry for your recent copy wrong issues. Hopefully you guys don't get any more strikes due to nonsense issues for a while. Second, on an unrelated note, I've been watching your Legend of the Galactic Heroes reactions and have probably annoyed both you and Lessons with my comments, and you are actually making me rethink my position on Oberstein. I won't say anything more here, but let's just say that I've been rewatching my Blu-ray set, and I'm seeing him in a different light. Only took 2 viewings of the show to reconsider that, lol. He's my guy. Like I keep saying, If I had been drawn as anybody, I probably would have been drawn as Oberstein, except that you put my head on his body, and there's no difference between him and anybody else. I agree with you that things feel stretched out. The spark is gone. You are right. I guess Okada from Gainax was right when he said it felt a bit pointless after the movie, except for the possible improved ending. If they can improve it, we'll see soon. I suppose Teresa's powers weren't that broken if she had to sacrifice herself to slow down the Comet Empire. It's hard to say since we never got a lot of details about her. I mean, it's still so much more than we got in the movie. There's some things that are better here than in the movie, and there's a lot of things that are better in the movie than here. I felt the emotion a lot more in the movie, I should say. Whereas here, I guess we're getting kind of a better story, but they're getting themselves a lot of time to fuck stuff up in, and they've been spending it well, I guess. Yeah, the Yamato is faster than Star Trek ships by quite a bit. They made an intergalactic journey in the original series after all, 300,000 plus light years in about a year. That's crazy. Although speeds in Trek have changed over time, it used to be that warp 1 was the speed of light, and after that it was the speed of light cubed by the warp speed. That was how we used to figure out back in the day using the rules on warp speed for the FASA game. But that was changed in TNG, and Voyager says it would take them 70 years to go 70,000 light years, so the Yamato is definitely faster. Yeah, that's what I brought up. I'm familiar. There used to be like a chart or something like that for how warp speed has changed over time. But I mean, that only really matters in the Star Trek universe if you're talking Trek, so. Actually, the way the Yamato travels is much like how the Battlestar Galactica jumped. It makes me wonder if the Yamato is faster than the Macross with its space folding. Probably not. The thing, I don't know how often this comes up. It depends on what era of Macross, also. SDF Macross, they would fold space, and you remember there was like that weird, oh, I'm feeling sick sort of thing, because they would spend time in fold space traveling. Unlike the Yamato, well, I guess the Yamato does. The problem is Yamato spends like 10 seconds in whatever jump space that it's in. Versus like, because, that's the images that we get where everyone's like tripping out and whatnot. Whereas the Galactica is they jump and then they're just there. There's no time spent in the place. So I'd say probably it's slower than the SDF Macross. But at the same time, when you get to like Macross Delta, Macross Frontier, yeah, I guess Macross 7 still uses the old style. But when you get to like, sorry, I'm going off kilter here. SDF Macross, I'd say Macross Plus, has the travel through fold space where things are just kind of weird. Macross 7, yeah, I think there's other stuff around there. They just have the Battlestar Galactica just pop in. And then after that, they kind of do like a Babylon 5 traveling through some other folded space or whatever. So again, it's errors. It's errors. It depends on what you're talking about. The military higher-ups and their delays in giving orders because they have to consult everything reminds me of a similar scene in Evangelion. There is a danger that needs to be dealt with quickly, but no group wants to take responsibility, so things constantly get pushed off to another group until Nerve just does what has to be done. It's been forever since I've seen Evangelion. I'm with you about combat not being my main focus in films and shows. I like a cool or epic fight, sure, but without good writing and characters I care about, it doesn't do much for me. I mean, it's also that, again, you see the same kind of fights over and over again, it doesn't much matter. Also, the scope and scale of the fights that you get. I've already seen universes being thrown around. How far can I go beyond that? And the Bolar Wars is the 3rd season, I believe. I could be wrong. Doesn't mean anything to me, obviously, because I'm not there yet. I do like Dessler escaping and showing Sabera up, so that's good. We'll see if he lives here. Either way, another good reaction. Alright, well, that was the comment, so nothing left to do but to hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
As I said a number of times, I usually just have the headset on when I'm not reacting, only during my audio editing. And I turn the headset all the way up on audio editing just to make sure I'm hearing all the sounds I need to get rid of, right? I will often forget that facet when I go to react. So the solo reaction specifically, obviously, when I'm reacting with Lessons, the first thing Lessons says blows my fucking mind, right? But when I'm doing my solo stuff, it's just me talking to me, right? But when I go to react to the very first episode, depending on what I'm doing that day, boom, blowing my fucking mind out. So, always funny. You can always tell whatever, if I'm recording multiple shows in a day, what the first episode can be, because we'll say, well, let's go in and jump on into it. And the first thing you'll see is me going, ah! Now, the title of this episode was Collision in Warp or something, which can only mean that Dessler's going to ram them again, I feel like. Or the title is misleading completely, like the last one was. Are we? Planet 11 was the edge. You're beyond the edge. Also, how are you going to collide if you're already at the system's edge? You want to visit Planet 11. The graves of the dead, right? Please be something respectful like that, not something stupid like Saito usually gets us. There we go. Don't got time to stop. Take a ship. Just take a ship. Just let him take a ship. Let him leave. You don't need the one ship he'll take to take his people go. I'm glad we didn't engage. I mean, he has a fucking good point. It's not the only dead people here. This is like the most Captain Kodai has ever been. Let's go shoot this guy in the back. Take one of the fucking transports. You need these things. I was just thinking to myself, I appreciate the sci-fi futures where they got like super healing technology. Because I would just shoot him twice in both legs. Just let him stick around on the ground, and we'll heal him later. But this is that kind of show. So why don't we visit Pluto on the way and see all the dead bodies there too? You could make a fighting game out of this. I never like when people stop a fight and they put their, they put them in the hold. Because this leaves them open to getting attacked by the other person.
すいません。斎藤のやつが整備中のコスモタイガーを勝手に持ち出そうとしたもんで。斎藤。命令だ。第11番惑星の探査をしてこい。
He doesn't deserve this.
古代お前。勘違いするな。これは命令だ。アナライザー、お前も言ってやれ。はいはい。何をしている。早く行くんだ。
I would also argue that the dead don't deserve to be joined. By which I mean, get a hurry and do what you need to do to save the human race. And don't let people die because you dallied.
俺は探査に行くんだ。遊びに行くんじゃねえ。
バカモン、少しは古代の気持ちを分かってやらんかい。
すまねえ先生、それじゃ。
I guess the suggestion of pouring one out for the dead doesn't mean anything to him. Oh great, it's Analyzer and Saito. I'm sure this will be super meaningful. Legitimately, just take one of the transports you used back at Terrasat. Take all of your commando guys. They can all pay the respects.
大艦隊じゃないか。拡大映像と切り替えます。
Better be the Gambless fleet.
速力35宇宙ノット。地球に向かっています。
No, that's Balsaurus?
11番惑星はすでに敵の兵隊基地になっているのかもしれんぞ。
大丈夫かしら、斉藤さん。
God, I hope not.
艦長代理、地球防衛軍本部から入電しています。古代か。なぜヤマトを止めた？長官。決戦の時期は近い。ことは一国を争うのだぞ。見たまえ。我々は今全力を挙げて体制を整えつつある。何としてもタイタン基地を中心とした防衛ラインで敵艦隊を撃滅したいのだ。白色彗星も再び軌道を地球に向けてきている。情勢は極めて厳しい。すでに避難命令も出され、人々は地下基地への避難を開始した。
Oh, okay.
が彼らはまだ
We're going to evacuate Earth too.
もう一度言うぞ古代。この決戦には何としても勝たねばならん。もし敗れれば白色彗星が来る以前に全ては終わるのだ。急いでくれ古代。ヤマトを待っている。はい。
Sorry, I gave this idiot 24 hours.
静かだな。静かすぎてなんだか悪い予感がするぞ。おい、気をつけてな。
I feel like they're invoking like South American civilizations, like Olmec and the Mayans. Or maybe a little bit of Easter Islands too, but I think those people came from a different island. No, wait. They might have gone to a different island after Easter Island.
おい、聞こえるか？第11番惑星守備隊長、斉藤が帰ってきたぞ。
I don't,
斉藤だ。
despite the cloud cover, I don't believe Planet 11 had an atmosphere.
お前たち、ここにいたのか。
地表からの高度12万メートル。まもなく。
So what kind of cloud cover can actually have?
おい、相原、斉藤を呼び出せ。
Be completely frozen,
行動を
shouldn't
切
it?
り上げてヤマトに戻れと伝えるんだ。はい。島、このまま高度1万まで降下だ。そこで斉藤を待つ。了解。
I guess that's about right.
さあ飲め。
Although, to be fair, if you pour it out and it freezes over the thing, then your open bottle should be frozen too. Again, for me, that's just rings of Pluto, right?
何？
And Kodai's brother's ship, before we found out Kodai's brother was still alive.
残留艦隊に連絡を取れ。挟み撃ちだ。ほっ、ミサイル発射用意。
おかしいな。この辺りには生命反応がある。なんだ？うわっ、何かが起こっ
I mean, what appreciably changed that he couldn't detect the life signs before. I mean, those are basically the missile tips on the edge of the Comet Empire ships, too.
ミサイル接近。何？反転上昇。面かじ45度。了解。 やっぱり敵の基地があったのか。南部、戦闘班を部署につけろ。はい。相原、サイトはどうした？連絡はつきません。第2波接近。
So just watching these kind of reminds me of
後方に敵艦隊
Voltace 5 and their infinite missile firing capabilities.
挟み撃ちか。 なんだ一体。
斉藤さん、大変だ。戦いが始まったよ。
何？
I guess this suit has like no long-range communications ability.
発射用意完了。
距離 9.5 宇宙キロ
包囲情報プラ
I
ス
mean, we already know that's well within the firing radius.
発射。
Considering that we're halfway through the episode, at what point are we going to collide with anything in the warp?
おい、急いでください、斉藤さん。
I guess he learned how to pilot at some point.
冗談じゃねえ。俺には探査命令が出てるんだ。これは艦長代理の命令だ。よく言っとけ。違った命令を一緒に出すなってな。あいつめ。
It is a pretty cool looking ship, I'll give it that though.
地球艦隊との合流が不可能になるぞ。古代。 千葉、ミサイルの射程内から離脱するんだ。高度7万まで上昇。
Seems like it'd probably be a pretty good distance. Yeah, missile range. The whole point about missiles is having a long range.
大気圏を離脱していきますよ。
よし、俺たちも繋がろうぜ。
Sounds like we got the bongo player back in.
まもなく高度7万。
敵艦隊距離2万5000再投機確認
あのバカ。反転90度、機関停止。波動砲発射用意。古代。
You think they're gonna find out that they've like damaged the wave motion cannon because of the maximum warps, but that was the trade-off? I doubt it, because Yamato has to have his cool gun by the end of the season. Ooh. A secondary bridge. I thought that was a secondary bridge. Where's the fuck is the secondary bridge? That was the third bridge.
Safety lock open.
敵艦隊接近。距離15000。
Thank God we can print these things on demand.
よし、ターゲットスコープオープン。電影クロスゲージ明度20。古代すまね、俺のために。
Stop running up on the bridge, interrupting shit.
発射10秒前。対ショック対先行防御。5、4、3。
So it seems like the best time to dodge would be in the last 10 seconds.
発射。
You remember the first time we used this thing in Jupiter, and it destroyed a continent easily? I feel like it would have torn a portion of that planet away if it was as strong as it used to be.
第11番学生の兵隊基地が全滅しました。何？第25戦闘艦隊も連絡を絶ちました。ヤマトの攻撃を受けた模様です。ヤマトか。ただいま第11艦隊が到着しました。すでに第24艦隊は第9衛星ヤペトウス。第15、16
Did they not come here supplied already? Because I assume that's the only reason you have them landing.
機動艦隊第7巡洋艦隊がタイタンへ向かいつつあります。総司令、ただいま監視衛星から映像が入りました。回路をつなげ。敵艦隊は海王星を通過中。速度35宇宙ノット。艦隊の構成を分析しろ。急げ。はい。
I guess that's what one of those radar planes looks like in space.
敵監視衛星発見。始末しろ。
Say again, you would have been better served off just using a missile. This is what the long-range missiles are for.
監視衛星が。
You're missing one of your anchors.
敵艦隊は海王星を通過した。我々はすっかり遅れを取ったぞ。ここから一歩先に地球艦隊に合流するとなると、ワープしかないな、古代。
計算では
All because of Saito.
14時の方向なら土星軌道までのワープが可能です。
よし、修理が済み次第ワープしよう。今日の酒はうめえ。そうだろう、そうだろう。さあ飲め。
I want to point out that it's the last 5 minutes and they've only just proposed warping again. The name of the episode, Collision and Warp. Great. End of the season, we finally earned his loyalty. But he was still fighting this episode.
秒読み開始。ワープ10秒前。出力異常なし。5秒前。4、3、2、1。ワープ。ワープ。こちらは偵察艇 B だ。ただいま土星軌道に到着。地球艦隊まで距離1200。
まず己の敵を知ることだ。心していけ。
はっ。艇長、左舷後方に何かが
Oh, I
ワー
thought
プ
it
して
was
きます。
warping on top of them, which would be disastrous for both.
ヤマトだ。ヤマトだ。
Great.
司令、土星軌道上
I want to point out that it was actually a collision out of warp, not in warp. Nothing really to name the episode about either.
北川大和相変わらず荒っぽい連中だ。土星衛星圏に入りました。
So last episode was named after the giant space battle that didn't happen. This episode was named after a space collision, or warp collision. That one actually didn't happen because it didn't happen in warp. It wasn't even that important.
地球防衛艦隊司令長官土方龍古代帰ってきたな。ヤマトはテレザートへのクランの旅を終えた。しかし地球艦隊と水星帝国の主力マルゼー艦隊との決戦の時は刻一刻と近づいている。
Again, though, it's joining a fleet full of double its own firepower.
ヤマトの最後の戦いの時が迫ったのだ。
You know, despite giving the name of next episode, I'm going to assume Dessler's going to come back next episode. Because these episode titles have nothing to do with what's going on. Additionally, oh shit, now I can't remember what the hell I was about to say. Oh, what I meant by saying it's joining a fleet double its firepower. I mean, all of the Andromeda class ships have double warp cannons, right? Essentially, whatever they're called. So the Yamato is not special. I mean, it's our hero ship, so it's special in that it's got the best armor around. Plot armor. But it's the element that... what does it really add? It's like adding half of an Andromeda cruiser to the fight. Again, I understand it's the hero ship, you're supposed to be cheering for it. I just mean appreciably if I was like playing Homeworld, right? And I just, took a heavy cruiser or built a heavy cruiser. I don't know that I'd be happy or not that I captured an enemy heavy cruiser and it was half as strong as the cruisers I already had. Like, okay, great. Heavy cruisers are good. A weaker heavy cruiser is still a heavy cruiser. Just, I don't know what to do here. And also, it's going into the fight damaged. But of course, we know that means nothing. In the space between the end of this episode and the start of the next episode, it's going to be fine. I don't know. I feel like I'm more flippant now because this episode was pointless. Yeah, great. We paid respects to Planet 11's dead. We could have done that after. We could have just put this episode after everything. Conceivably, there would be time between when we're done fighting this fleet and when the Comet Empire ship shows up. But even then, we should still be preparing. You know, at the end of the day, we might just be joining all of those dead people. In which case, we can just say hi to them then. Or we can try to keep on living now and see what happens. I don't know. The show isn't picking up like I was hoping it would. Great, Saito's on Kodai's side now. Should have always been. I don't think the course correction of Saito's character is aided by the element that he was shit from the beginning, and now he's shit at the end too. I guess he's just a little more, I don't know. He got a fight in the hangar bay. Did not appreciate that. But then he's like, oh, the captain let me do what I wanted, and that really turned me around on him. Shouldn't have happened in the first place. But I guess there's no price to pay for that, given the fact that the HQ called and said, what are you doing? We need you here. And, nothing happened. I guess I just don't got much to say here. The element is what happened. Saito got into a fight. Saito visited Planet 11. Planet 11 base attacked them, like the Pluto base, and they were trying to leave. Season 1, I mean. They fought. That was it. Ultimately, this was a 10-minute episode wrapped in a 21-minute plot. So, I feel like we're being teased. There is a big thing about to happen, which is we're waiting to see a giant space combat, and then we're waiting to see, I guess, the final showdown with the ship and Dessler. I feel like there's 3 episodes worth of big content left to go, and they're like, we have 5 episodes left. We can tease this along. Don't like it. Not a big fan. Well, anyway, I guess the only thing left to do is to wait and see what we get next time. So, until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?